Hi, I'm here today to talk to you guys about bargaining for annual ryegrass. We're recording this the day of the lottery. Hopefully I win the lottery and I'll solve a lot of the problems by cornering the annual ryegrass market. But just in case that doesn't happen, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about here we've been the last 6, 7, 8 months we've been talking about bargaining for annual. And we haven't been doing much. We sent out the poll. I think we had 45, 46 respondents, 9 no's, the rest yeses. They averaged about 1,000 acres per grower. I mean, there were some big growers on both sides and some small growers on both sides. The yeses all put their names down, addresses and phone numbers, and the no's, there was about half of them, they didn't put a name down, they just sent it back saying no and a reason why they didn't like it. And 3 or 4 of the no's also left a little comment and their name why they didn't like it. So to the bargaining, I guess the way I got to thinking about this is the Oxbod's been doing a good job with the fescue and perennial. And anyway, I was talking to some of my buddies, and we were talking about, we need to do something for annual because it just doesn't seem like we get the highs anymore. We seem to catch the lows, but not the highs. The speculators are all gone. It's just a matter of purchasing the needs for what we need today, and we'll worry about tomorrow when somebody calls and wants some. And it's not conducive for an annual ryegrass market. It used to be you could, as a lot of you guys know in this room know, is you could sell ryegrass pretty much any time of the year except for maybe the last 2 weeks of December. And it's not that way anymore. If you either sell when the phone rings or you wait for the phone to ring again another day, which don't happen very often, it seems like. And to me, 30 cents. We were at 24 cents there last spring and summer until we got the combines in the field and found out there wasn't a crop there, and we ran up to 30 cents. I think in the good old days, if you want to call them that, we would have been to 35, 38 cents. And we didn't even hardly break 30. We got to 31 on tetraploid, but not much better than that. So anyway, back to the bargaining. So we're talking about how the turf type, for instance, is really stabilized. In my feeling, is it's stabilized the fawn and K31 market, which I grow some of, and also it's stabilized itself. I mean, it's there's a group of growers that belong, and then there's a group of dealers that show up, and we sit there and kind of discuss what the supply looks like and what the crop looks like and what the demand is, and kind of come up with a price. And this last year there was no argument on perennial. It was just kind of everybody kind of knew we're short on perennial, so we left it at the same. And fescue, we kind of had a disagreement, but ended up it was the same before the end of the season, and which is a good thing. Stable price is good. It helps the guy on the other end realize that he's not going to buy seed for X and his buddy's going to buy it for 5 cents less. He's going to be, they're going to be on an equal playing field. And that's kind of what I want for us growers is I want everybody to make money. I want my neighbors to be successful. I want to be successful. And I think if we can bargain ryegrass, I'm not talking about asking for 40 plus cents for your typical annual ryegrass varieties. I'm just talking a good fair price of somewhere 33, 35 cents. So it's reasonable for us to make a profit. So stable markets, for instance, when we're selling annual ryegrass, a lot of times in the June, there's some June shipments and early July shipments off new crop. And there's been a couple years here in the past 2 or 3 years where guys are holding off down south from buying until the last minute because they're afraid of buying ryegrass costing them more than their competition. And the nice thing about a good stable price that growers and dealers can agree on is the purchaser on the other end is going to be a lot more likely to book his needs. Even if he leaves it in my warehouse till September or something before he ships it, at least he can know he's got something booked instead of sitting there waiting until the very last minute to see how cheap it's going to get, like we've been doing here the last 3 years. And 30 cents, what it is this year, is definitely not making any money just because of the poor crop. But even on a normal crop, 30 cents is not great money, as you guys know. And I mean, combines are 350,000, and windrowers are 100,000. Fertilizer, price of corn came back down, but the price of fertilizer never came back down. Yeah, fuel's down. Well, that's one thing out of several inputs that we pay for that has gone down is diesel. But that's not much of our inputs when you look at it. And so anyway, so we need to have, we need to have better stable prices, and that's where it's up to us growers to do this. I mean, we can blame seed dealers and whoever we want to blame, but it really comes down to ourselves. And we need to get together and decide how we're going to bargain annual ryegrass and make it work. It's working in the fescue and the perennial. The acreage in the Willamette Valley is there's lots of other crops guys are growing. I've been growing a lot more wheat the last 6 or 8 years, just because even if it's not the greatest price in the world, it's something else besides grass seed. There's guys planting filberts like crazy. Just lots of different crops that people are trying because they're tired of the old grass seed business of turning around and kicking us in the rear end. So anyway, but the other good thing about annual ryegrass is if you look at the markets of the three majors, tall fescue, perennial ryegrass, and annual ryegrass has actually been expanding their market since the 08-09 crop year. Depends how you want to look at it. I'm not a statistician, but by my numbers, it's increased by 18 to 23% growth in the market share of annual ryegrass. And I think guys are getting better yields over the years, but still the acres have not increased that much on annual ryegrass. So I really think we need to get serious about this this bargaining association. And change is not good. Nobody likes change. I hate change. But instead of reacting to change, we need to maybe work with change and make it work in our favor so we can be more profitable. In conclusion, I guess what I'm trying to tell you guys is what we're doing in the annual ryegrass world right now is not working. And we definitely can make a change if we just do it together. And I'm as big a capitalist as anybody out there. I believe in supply and demand, but like I said earlier, I don't think it's working for the annual ryegrass. And we all belong to co-ops, whether it's the fertilizer co-op, the co-op, meadow foam co-op, but they're hazelnut co-ops. There's all kinds of co-ops everybody belongs to. So we need to get over that hurdle. It's not a big deal. It's just a group of farmers wanting to work together, and we need to work together. And like I said earlier, I'm not trying to cost the dealers any money. I want the dealers to make money as much as I want my neighbors to make money. I want everybody to be successful. So it should be a win-win for dealers and growers where we can sit down, visit, come up with a strategy, and bargain for a decent price so we can all make a living at annual ryegrass. It's a great crop. It does just exactly what people want it to do. I mean, it's so versatile, it's ridiculous. You can feed it to your cattle. You can use it for cover crops. It's erosion control. I mean, we all know what it's used for. I mean, a lot of people use it in lawns even. it's just a good crop that should be respected and paid for instead of sitting here always struggling, losing money. So I really want you guys to support and sign up, and we really need to get some support today as far as signing a paper back there with Mark in the back. There's a couple other guys here in the audience. Matt Crocker is supposed to be here today, and a couple other board members of the bargaining association. And go back there, sign up, talk to Mark, ask Matt a few questions, and sign up. There's going to be dues associated with this. I know how farmers don't like to spend money, but if we can make a penny or two difference, those dues are going to be minute in the results we get. I really haven't said how we're going to do this. I don't know yet. We've talked about several different ways. We've talked about bargaining for the private proprietaries, annual ryegrasses, and then let them pull up the commons. We've talked about bargaining certified varieties and let it doing the pulling up. We've talked about bargaining Gulf, since that is used as a base contract a lot of times. We just haven't thought. We've thought, but we haven't came up with a good conclusion. And to be honest with you, I would like to have your support, and if I don't have your support, I got other things I can do too. But I think this is a worthwhile cause that we should get behind and make it work.
We kept on pushing until we got it right. Far from easy, worth the fight. Far from easy, worth the fight.